Let's get cozy.
Let's get cozy. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to That Gym Couple podcast.
Hosted by Cal and Lucy.
Episode 20.
I think we've decided this is going to be the last one of this series.
Imagine if you just said last
The
one.
last one.
That's it now.
Well, maybe that's
We're
what
done.
Maybe I'll clickbait the title. Let's call it the last one.
Say goodbye, That Gym Couple podcast. No, I can't say that. That's too.
No.
The last one.
The last one. The last episode.
I'd click on that.
Yeah, I know you would.
Yeah, I think we have decided. We were like, do we go to 20? Do we go to 25? Like, when do you call it season 1 and then go to season 2? But it seems like it's coming at a good time, seeing as we are moving house next weekend. It's going to be a little bit crazy trying to pack everything up and move things, and we need to kind of settle into our new place and figure out, a new
setup. Yeah, exactly.
New setup.
Having a place that we can designate, I guess, to recording the podcast would be pretty cool. But
yeah.
I don't know how much space we're going to have. We're not sure where things are going to go as they are. So
we're going back in today, aren't we?
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to be like, oh, I don't remember it being this small.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be smaller than we remember.
Yeah.
But I think we can try and work something out to make it.
I mean, it's not exactly like we've had loads of space here and we've made it work. I think we
true.
can make it nicer there. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. But yeah, that's why I think timing's worked out quite well. This will be episode 20, end of season 1. Then we'll be back for season 2.
In a few weeks, yeah?
Yeah, with who knows what.
Yeah.
We're going to spend a bit of time planning as well and figuring out what we really want to talk about.
Yeah,
in the
if
next
there's
season.
anyone in particular we want to try and get on.
Yeah, maybe we want to get another mic so we can have some guests.
Yeah.
I mean, if there was podcast studios where we live, I think I would just hire it for an hour each week.
Just do a.
Like, imagine just
session.
turning up. It's all set up, ready to go.
Yeah.
Do they have that sort of thing where we live?
I've not seen it.
It's more of like
Probably.
a London thing, isn't it?
It probably is somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway,
how are you doing?
I'm good. We're recording on the morning after again.
Yeah.
We usually record in the evening, but just so much on yesterday. I think Easter's thrown us both off a little bit.
Yeah, I was so confused.
4-day weekend. So going back to work and starting again on the Tuesdays really kind of
thrown us.
Yeah, thrown us a little bit, but I feel good. I had a lovely weekend, and
we did have such a wonderful weekend. We went to this massive house near Suffolk with all of your family and extended family, and it was such a lovely weekend.
Yeah, it was. It was a lot of people I hadn't seen for a long time. Some family I've never met.
Yeah.
I
was meeting them all.
You haven't met any of them, so
like 30 people.
Yeah, it was lovely, but
it was so nice.
There's a lot of just a lot of kind of not doing a lot, which was lovely.
Yeah.
A lot of socialising.
Sometimes that's quite tiring, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was quite a long way away. It was quite a long drive away. But I felt like we really settled into relaxation mode when we got there.
Yeah.
We were like, right, we'll run how many times did people ask us to run a boot camp while we were there? And we just didn't turn up to it. The instructors just didn't turn up.
Just lie in every morning.
I mean, this is a fitness podcast, so we're really exposing ourselves here. But a lot of them were like, right, there's a park run on Saturday morning. Who's joining? And we were just like looking down like, I don't know.
It was my weekend off.
I know. I think people forget that we train 6 days a week, 5-6 days a week at home.
I mean, they do as well. Like a lot of them who were running, they run a lot. So
yeah,
but that's their training. Like if there was a gym, I might have gone to the gym instead.
Yeah, that's not what we do really.
No.
Yeah. So we're happy to have a little bit of a break, but yeah, it was quite funny. It was like, right, boot camp 9:30 tomorrow morning, and we literally woke up at 9:20 and we were like, oh no.
Let's hope no one's at boot camp. To be fair, no one was. Like they all came
Everyone
out
was so
after us.
tired. We'd had a late night the one before, hadn't we?
And then we lost an hour's sleep as well.
Yeah, it was funny. But I feel like the whole weekend felt like it was Christmas. Like it was quite cold, loads of family members around.
Yeah.
Just chilling.
Lots of food,
lots of games. Like on the Sunday we played chess, card games, we played Scrabble. it just felt like Christmas. And then,
Yeah.
someone comes in and they're like, 5 minutes till dinner.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was really nice. And then we went you didn't come, but we went for a little walk after dinner. And
No, I was cleaning up.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh, well done.
Just cleaning up. Someone had to.
Yeah. Well, it was really nice. I hope everyone else had a lovely Easter weekend. One thing to quickly touch on, I've been obviously doing some of my client check-ins since being back at work for the last couple of days, and there's kind of a big chat around, I was off plan, quote unquote off plan, or I had a lot of untracked food while it was Easter weekend. And some clients are a little bit stressed about it. Other clients are sort of like, actually, I was really able to enjoy it for what it was, not overthink it, not overindulge. And then I'm straight back on it this week, which I guess just a bit of advice to anyone that feels like they might have undone all their progress over Easter weekend. You can't undo progress that quickly. So I think what I would say to my clients, the most important thing is what you choose to do about it now. So there's no point dwelling over the weekend, stressing about it, because you can't go back in time and change it. Whatever happened has happened now. I think what you choose to do now matters. So getting back on it.
I completely agree. Which I think leads us nicely into our first segment.
Weekly check-in. Weekly check-in. You absolutely mugged me off last week. Callum edits the podcasts. I used to be like I'm a bit of a perfectionist. So I was like, I need to listen to every single bit back and make sure I'm happy with it before it goes out. Now I'm just like, Callum, edit it. I don't care. And then he played me some of it back last week and he kept in my stupid little jingle.
Yeah, well, that's the song now.
Yeah, you have to do a jingle now.
No, that's it. That's the song.
I can't remember what I even did. Weekly check-in. That wasn't it.
No, that wasn't it. But how has your check-in been this week?
I don't know what is going on. I mean, let's be real. We just said that it was Easter weekend. We obviously weren't tracking. We didn't do any exercise. I'll actually be completely honest here. We didn't leave the house on Sunday. Like, I did not leave the house.
I went outside once to get something
to
from
the
boot of
car.
your car.
So you probably did 3 steps to the car and 3 steps back. I did go for a walk after dinner, but that would not have really done much. But I don't know what it was. It was raining. It was really cloudy. It was quite cold. We were in the countryside, so there's not much around. So it kind of just turned into a really chilled, lazy day.
Yeah. Well, we had a very lazy morning, and then we eventually had some breakfast, and then by the time that we'd kind of showered, got dressed, and was ready for the day, people were prepping dinner, lunch, Sunday lunch. So
everyone was just sort of doing their own thing, but in the house.
Yeah.
So we just didn't really end up leaving. As I said, like Christmas Day, when you just sort of sit around all day, but you're doing little bits. And so, yeah, there was not much activity over the weekend. I wouldn't say we ate loads, but obviously we did eat foods that we don't normally eat. In the week we eat quite plain foods. And then on the weekend there was a lot of carbs, a lot of creamy things, desserts that we wouldn't normally have. So of course we were going to be over our calories. So I was not expecting to see a drop this week. I did actually just need to check what my weight actually was last week. I think I've stayed the same, in all honesty. Let's have a look. Cutting phase. Oh no, do you know what? Since last week I've actually dropped 0.2 kilograms.
Oh, amazing.
So
that's good.
For me, after that weekend, that's a win.
Yeah.
I would say either staying the same or going down a tiny bit is a win. Which is crazy because I didn't the week before when I was 100% on top of everything. Maybe it's just relaxing.
Maybe. I think the
good sleep.
Not moving as much definitely makes a big difference.
I definitely don't feel as good as I did last week. Last week I was feeling really good.
Yeah.
But I just feel quite tired and bloated, but that will pass.
Yeah.
So I think honestly it's just a case of bouncing straight back, which we already have. Tracked everything yesterday, did 12,000 steps. I'll do my session. I did a leg session yesterday. I'll do a session today. I'll do cardio today. So yeah, it's just bouncing straight back on plan.
Yeah.
And as we said last week, I'm really not that bothered about the scale weight. I don't have a specific scale weight in mind that I need to reach. Obviously it's a little bit frustrating when you step on the scales and nothing's changed, because whether you care about the scale weight or not, it is a metric that tells us if what we're doing is working or not. But I'm just going to kind of go off how I feel. So yeah, I don't feel great this week, so I need to really be on top of it. What about you? Did you weigh yourself this morning?
I did. So I weighed myself yesterday and no.
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah, I weighed myself yesterday and I weighed myself today. And yesterday I was
I don't think we need to say numbers.
higher
Okay.
in scale weight than I was last week, which was expected. But today it's dropped down, so I'm
By how much from yesterday?
about a kilogram
No way.
in water weight. Yeah, I reckon.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't weigh myself yesterday, so may well have been higher yesterday.
Yeah.
A kilogram.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Roughly, yeah.
See, that just perfectly demonstrates. So Callum lost a kilogram in 24 hours. Some people will gain a kilogram in 24 hours, but that is literally just water weight.
Yeah.
Like that is not fat.
I saw someone post something up earlier, and it was like, a kilogram and a half of water weight. Like if you stood there, weighed yourself, and then drank a kilogram, like 1.5 kilograms of water,
it's going to show up.
You'd put on a 1.5 kilograms.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, it's
that's mad.
Yeah, it's gone off quite quickly, but I'd expected that to happen because water weight does quite typically come off.
Yeah.
Fairly easily. So it's just now keeping that progress going and tracking downwards still.
And just getting back to normal routine. And we've got no plans this weekend, so we'll be having a nice quiet weekend, kind of keeping on track, and then most of next week as well.
I got a whole house to pack up this weekend.
Yeah, no, I know, but we're not like going. We don't have plans with anyone. No social plans.
But yeah, like
we can be on track.
Oh,
my phone's ringing.
Active and busy.
Oh, it's my sister. I'll call her back.
Yeah, too right.
Too right.
Get Hannah on the pod.
No, don't think. Oh, do you know who we could get on? Oh my god, I've just had such a great idea.
Yeah.
My soon-to-be brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Because he's a triathlete.
Triathlete. Yes.
Is that what they call them?
Yes.
That'd actually be really interesting to the difference between our training and his training.
I did suggest that before.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we need to do that.
I think we'd need to get...
We could get my sister as well.
Your sister on as well.
Because she's kind of on it with him.
Yeah.
But yeah, my brother-in-law, soon-to-be brother-in-law, is ridiculous. Like, he ran a race a few weeks ago. How many people were there? Like, he told us there was hundreds of people running the race, and he came...
16th or something?
I can't remember. We'll have to ask him. We will get him on because it's really fascinating the difference in our training styles. But he is just an animal, honestly. Yeah. And he is so disciplined. Like, we'll have a birthday meal and he will be like, we'll all be ready going, is everyone ready? Where's Joe? And he's like, oh, he's just finishing up on a run. And I'm like, we're going out for dinner. Like, does he need to go for a run? But he just loves it that much and so dedicated to his training that he will go and get it done. It's amazing. So yeah, that maybe we could start with some guests in season 2.
Yeah, I did suggest that. So we'll see. Cool. I think that's the end of that.
Weekly check-in. Catch you next week for... No, we won't.
No, we won't. It'll be a couple of weeks. So
oh, yeah, it will be a couple of weeks.
Should be a good...
bit of progress.
Good bit of progress for the next one.
Yeah, amazing. Weekly check-in. Right. You had an interesting topic you wanted to discuss this week.
Yeah. It was kind of a bit of reflection for me on my past sort of 6-7 years within the fitness industry. And I was looking at how much it has changed in terms of people's focuses, people's knowledge, the sort of things, the day-to-day aspects of the fitness industry and how much they have adapted and developed over the years. And I just kind of like, is that for the better or for the worse? That's the kind of the mindset I was going down. There's a lot of things that you could argue are definitely for the better. The better. I think it's all sort of swings and roundabouts though, because the general fitness pop, as in people who are just, your general population who go into the gym week in, week out, or, they are getting more knowledgeable in terms of what they're training and what they know about training and nutrition and diet and stuff like that. So that's definitely coming a long way. And I would put that down to social media and the fact that people are more educated from social media. The negative aspect of that would be that what they're educated on and who they're educated by isn't necessarily regulated.
And there is so much out there now because of social media. You can see one bit of information one day and it's really enlightening and interesting, and then the next day there's another bit of information that's completely disregarding what you just read, and it's something completely different. And it's not even just random people, you know, experts on podcasts and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, as I said, one week it's one thing it's another. It is, as you said, amazing that we have all this information out there now so easily and readily available, but it's a bit of a minefield. I speak to people every single day on coaching calls who are just like, I am so overwhelmed with the amount of information, I don't know where to begin. So that's why I'm coming to you to hopefully help me dissect some of it and understand what I need for me.
It's as you said, it's an absolute minefield, and finding that right information that you need is one of the hardest things to do. But you could argue that's the same with a lot of things on the internet.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of bullshit out there. Yeah,
there is, and there always will be to a degree, I imagine. And it's, some people would argue it's not bullshit because it's just differing opinions, and you know, what we might think is bullshit, someone else might believe, and it might work really well for them. So we don't know. But as you said, I think we could go down so many avenues with this topic because so many things have changed. Like, for one, we've talked about fad diets a lot.
Yeah.
They weren't fad diets once upon a time. So that movement is changing, of people being like, actually, that's not a very sustainable method.
Yeah, and I think it comes from people trialing it and going like, oh, that doesn't work for me. Yeah,
but then also a vast amount of people also saying that these things don't work. So then people are like, right, okay, so I won't do that then.
Yeah, do you know, it's just, it's definitely, would you say, if I was to just put it to you straight,
please do,
would you say that the fitness industry has changed for the better or for the worse from when you first got into it?
I would probably say overall better. Yeah, overall better.
Why?
Because I think there's so much more help now. And like, I remember when I first started in the gym, I had no idea what I was doing. Obviously, a lot of us don't know what we're doing. But there was a few YouTubers. Sorry, just not my mic. There was a few YouTubers that I watched. I didn't really know much about nutrition. I started using my MyFitnessPal, started having more protein, but there wasn't that much out there. And like I said, in terms of workouts, you know, there wasn't fitness apps and online coaches, not that I was aware of anyway. There was, as I said, a few YouTubers that I watched, and I'd have it on and I'd be like tapping through to kind of get to the next exercise. But then also that was quite nice, I guess. But now there is so much information out there. So I would say it's better because it's so, as I said, readily available and easy to access, free knowledge. But also you can't deny that there is, I think you said yesterday, some people trying to get a quick buck. Like,
yeah,
there's people just coming up with workout programs that aren't researched well enough, or giving out nutrition information when they're not qualified to.
Anyone just, like things like that, for like workout programs, like anyone charging for just a workout program with no substance to the other person's training, or no nutrition guide.
Well, they don't really know the person that they're giving it to.
Or even if they do, like anyone charging for a just the workout plan on its own, like they are just looking for a quick buck. You're not going to get any help from them. They probably don't know what they're talking about. They've just found a quick template online or just piece something together that's not going to be suitable for what your goals are, because they don't give a crap about you, really. They're just trying to get a bit of money in and just
but then
fill
also
their pockets.
Arguably, like, I completely agree, but then also us as humans we're in this world now where we want things ASAP. We want results ASAP. We want something quick and easy that we can pay for. You know, I have clients who say, do you just do training programs? I'm good with nutrition. I just need a training program. And I'm like, are you good with nutrition though?
But they come hand in hand. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter if you think you're good at it. Like, it doesn't matter
you're not going to get the best results.
If your training's really good, but your nutrition's crap, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
If your nutrition's really good, but your training's crap, it's not going to work.
Or,
you have to have them hand in hand, and they have to complement each other.
Yeah, but also both can be good. But if you haven't got the accountability that's actually keeping you consistent, then you're also not going to get results. And that's exactly why I do not provide one or the other. I am like, no, you're either all in or you're all out. Because we do everything. I get to know you as a person, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and everything else that comes with that. That is how we get the best results.
Exactly. And no one's going to be on it 100% every day, week in, week out.
No, of course.
So when you do slip up, inevitably, whether it's you think you're really good on your nutrition and you slip up and you have a few bad days or a bad week, that's what the coach is there for, to pick up the pieces and help you sort of piece it back together and go, right, okay, that's fine. Let's draw a line under that. Let's move on to the next bit. You can't do that if you're just getting a workout plan or you're just getting a nutrition plan, or it doesn't quite work the same way. Obviously, you know, go with what you think you need at the time, but I'm telling you right now that it's so important to have that the full picture of your training program. Otherwise you're just not going to get the results that you want.
Yeah, and also, like, with a coach, they can make sure there's progress to it. It's not just you go and do this training program. You know, you want to have someone looking over it, making sure that you are progressing with it. And otherwise, you're also not going to get results if you're not doing anything. Not doing anything different, but if you're not prioritizing the certain things that you need to prioritize, which a coach has the knowledge about, who can share that knowledge with you, that's also really important. But I guess that's one side that I think it has got better, is that there's not just PTs anymore. There's rise in online coaches who do offer a lot more, rather than just that in-person session for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
You can have someone that will provide nutrition, accountability, support, all of it, help you build habits. That's grown a lot.
Yeah. On the flip side, though, the rise of online coaches is definitely a negative aspect, I think, of the more modern fitness industry.
Yeah, I do agree.
There's a lot of people out there now who they train themselves and they've never had the experience of working with, you know, clients on a vast base, or they've not seen that side of the industry where they're working with your general population people, and they're just trying to build this brand. Fair enough, absolutely. If you can do that, brilliant. But it's also, it can be very damaging, because if you don't know the ins and outs of people's training and you've not done it for long enough yourself, or you know one style of training, but you've not actually delved into, I don't know, like how 50-year-old Julie, you know, should be planning her training and her diet and stuff like that. It's not a one size fits all product, and that's where it gets a bit risky, I guess, in terms of the online coach programs and how many of them there are now. Everyone wants to be an online coach because they see it as an easy, viable way of getting a lot of money very quick, but it's not. Yeah, it's not.
But when you say the word risky as well, like, I know a lot of people that have no qualifications whatsoever and are earning a fortune.
Yeah.
And I know people that are very big coaches who hire people who don't have qualifications. Now, you do you, no judgment. I mean, there's a little bit of judgment, I'm not going to lie. I would never, ever do something without a qualification myself, and I would never hire someone to give out advice who also wasn't qualified.
Yeah.
And it scares me to think that people, as you say, they just train in the gym themselves, so all of a sudden they're qualified to become an online coach, or they've grown really big social media following from a few reels that have gone viral, and all of a sudden they're an online coach.
Yeah, exactly. You always see it, don't you? Like, I've got a big announcement, and then coming on this date, and then on that day it's, I'm taking on clients, I'm an online coach now, and you're like, fantastic, like, good for you, but you've only built your base up through just basic general social media
Well,
practices,
it would just
which
be,
is not. I'm not trying to sound bitter or anything like that, but their practice of training, usually they'll have their own coach.
not even sometimes, but yeah, sometimes.
But a lot of the time they do. The ones that I've seen, they've got their own coach, as in they're training with someone else. So that person is providing, and that before that they didn't have any knowledge of the industry at all.
No.
So they've got to look a certain way under a certain coach who has given them all the tools that they need to look the way they look.
Yeah. And people like the way that they look.
People like the way they look,
Yeah.
so they follow them, and then they've then decided that is enough knowledge to be able to go and then tell other people how to look.
Yeah.
Which is just mind-blowing.
But people just going, I want to look like you. You're taking on clients, so I'm going to sign up.
That's like me being sick, going to see a doctor. The doctor gets me better. I'm then healthy and good. And then people are coming up to me going like, oh, how did you get like that? And I'm going, well,
I took this medicine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What? That's not how it works.
I know. And look, like we said, we want people to be successful. That's amazing. But like, you want someone who has got a qualification, who's done the reading.
Exactly. There needs to be some sort of accreditation, and
who wants to, what do we always say? Like, we want to always keep learning.
Yeah.
We want to keep learning, keep reading, and you should. And that's someone that you want to be coached by.
The industry changes as much as like,
it does.
The most optimal way of training changes every year. You know, there are new ways of doing things, the diet, nutrition, information, all this stuff, research changes everything all the time. So it's so important to keep on top of those things. Otherwise, like, you know, you're going to be left in the dark ages, and you're promoting stuff that is outdated, and you'll get left behind yourself.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I wanted to, which sprung to my mind when you mentioned about, you know, the fitness industry changing. I don't know if you think this is really relevant, but I guess something that sprung to my mind was the movement of kind of, particularly for women, going from wanting to be as skinny as possible. I feel like there's been this massive shift in women now training to feel strong and empowered and that sort of thing. But then on the flip side of that, there's a body positivity movement, which is a touchy one to discuss, but
I completely agree, and I get what you're saying. To be perfectly honest, when I first got into the industry, when I first started training, everyone's focus was very much around getting as strong as they can. Like really, just like, you know.
Do you mean in men? Like, because that wasn't the case for women.
Generally, women as well.
How many years ago are you talking?
10,
yeah,
12 maybe, when I was like really getting serious about training. And especially when I was at university, the number of girls who were like coming to the gym and they were like, I want to powerlift, I want to get strong, I want to feel strong, I want to be strong, was growing so much. It was like really on the rise. And then when I started working in the industry, it starts changing. Then people are going like, okay, well, I'm strong now. Now I want to look good. You know, because typically if you're training for strength, you're going to put on a bit more body fat and you're going to be a bit fluffy, because that's what you need. You know, mass moves mass. So then people were like, well, I want to look good. So then they start cutting down. Then the bodybuilding era starts coming back in. Like, it's not that it's gone anywhere at any time. Like, people obviously were still doing it, but more and more people, maybe it was just round where I was, but more and more people started wanting to look good as opposed to being strong. On the back end of that, people then look good. They had some base level strength, but they weren't fit. So then in comes high rocks in this hybrid training sort of style of training. So now everyone's like, I want to look good, I want to be fit, and I want to be strong. You can't really be all of those things, really, like to a very high degree. So I think what's going to happen, if I'm honest, it's a bit like fashion. You know, they say fashion comes back around. I think that sense of being strong is going to sort of disappear a little bit more as more and more people get into running and more cardiovascular style training to go alongside with their aesthetics training. So at the moment, you've got this sort of bodybuilding cross with, I don't know, cardiovascular fitness, merged together. So people look good and they feel good. They're healthy. They're fit, but they're losing that sense of strength. And I think that's going to come back round in a few years. I think people are going to start going, damn, I miss when I was like really strong and I could squat this or bench press this or hip thrust this. That's gone because their focus has shifted, and I think that comes round in generations. I think I don't remember what your original point was, and I don't know if that answered any of it, to be honest. But
it doesn't matter. I wasn't really looking for an answer. It's an interesting opinion on it.
I remember what you were saying. So, yeah, I think that it definitely has. There is a little bit of like a push and shove in terms of in regard to the fitness industry at the moment, where, particularly with women, as you said, there's a empowering women sort of training aspect of it, and then there's that body positivity side coming in as well. So I think the two of them do go hand in hand a little bit, because as I said, if you are training for strength, not saying that all women training for strength are going to be fat. They're not, but that lends itself to it. Like,
yeah, but the body positivity movement, they're saying don't try and change your body.
No,
just
exactly.
Accept
That's what I mean. Accept what you've got and train.
Which is also fine, but like the amount of women that have come to me like so confused because they're like, I don't really understand if I'm allowed to have a goal or not. Like, I don't feel comfortable in my skin, but I'm almost a bit worried to say that out loud. Like, I've genuinely had women say that to me. I'm a bit worried to say, I want to change my physique, because everyone around me is telling me that I should love who I am and I shouldn't have to change my body. And I'm like, you're in person. Like, what do you actually want? If you're not happy with how you look, you can change it.
Change
like,
it,
that's
100%.
Your prerogative.
Absolutely, yeah.
Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely
but it's just,
agree.
again, it's like it's great that we have all these different opinions, and everyone can say whatever it is that they believe in, but it's just, again, so many different controversial things, and you feel one way about something, and then this movement makes you feel another way, and it's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
It doesn't also, just because everyone's got their own opinion, doesn't make it also true
or right or
There's
wrong.
A great piece of graffiti over there in the car park that's next to us, and it says, "Thoughts are not facts." Just because someone thinks something, and this is very prevalent in the fitness industry, just because one person thinks something does not make it a fact.
Yeah.
Does not make it true to the sense that everyone should be buying into that ideology. It might work for them, it might work for some people. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you. So why, there's no harm in trying things and seeing if it works.
Yeah.
For instance, these fad diets. Some people I know have gone on these fad diets and it's worked so well for them, but the vast majority it won't work for. And that's generally your genetic makeup and how you process things and how your body works. There's some people that I know who can do keto really, really well.
For how long?
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. But that's typically because their bodies do better off high levels of fat anyway. So if they cut the carbs out, it's not making much difference to them. Whereas myself, I function better off high carbs than I do high fats. If I was having higher fats throughout the day and dropping my carbs down, I'd be so grumpy.
Yeah. Some people absolutely love intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for me.
Some people love running. Some people love a Stairmaster. Some people love riding a bike, rowing, swimming. There's all different types of cardio that people love. Some people like, certain exercises. Some people, believe it or not, love split squats. I've yet to meet one, but I've heard of them.
Who are these people?
So yeah, there's so many different factors that come into it, and inherently, I do believe that the fitness industry has changed for the better, but I think there are some negative aspects that have crept in alongside it.
Always will, though, I guess.
Of course, and it's as soon as people realised it was a lucrative industry to work in,
Or could be,
you're going to attract the wrong sort of people.
I think it's like with anything, though, there is always going to be two sides of it.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of another example, but like medication or something, there's always side effects of something. And just because we both have agreed there that we think the fitness industry has changed for the better, there is going to be side effects to that.
Yeah.
There's going to be some negative. And I think one bit of advice to maybe take away is like, just keep thinking for yourself. There's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of people telling you what you should and shouldn't think and should and shouldn't do. Try really hard to not just follow whatever it is you hear. Take a moment to maybe do your own reading, do your own research around it.
Get a second opinion.
Yeah, try it. Try different things out. Figure out what genuinely works for you and stick to it, or stick to your own guns, I guess. Don't be so
try it for like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
See if anything changes. If it doesn't, fine. How much time have you really wasted? Like nothing. If it is a case of, it's an industry where you have to stick at things for a long time, otherwise you won't necessarily see the results that you want to see. There's no quick fixes. It's slow, it can be painful, it can be disheartening at times, but it's also so rewarding as a whole because of what can happen, not in terms of just your physical health, your mental health, your mental well-being, your physical well-being. Like there's so many other things that it does affect, and that's why I think it's such a great industry, and I think it's so important and such a vital part of our society.
I agree. And it really is for everyone.
Yeah.
I really noticed that at the moment because my coaching, honestly, like I've got 18, 19-year-old girls who are at uni. I've got working kind of 25-year-olds. I've got mums.
Yeah.
I've got retired ladies who are 65 who can't lift weights but are doing something. I've put them on something different and that's working really, really well for them. One of them, actually, a retired lady that I'm working with at the moment, she's so lovely. She sent me a message this morning and she was like, I just want to thank you so much. Without this program, I know I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing and I would have absolutely given up by now.
Oh, bless.
And it just really makes me think that coaching or the fitness industry, fitness generally, is for everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever form that you decide to go for, it is for everyone. And that's partly why I guess we started this podcast as well, to show that.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
Amazing. That was quite interesting debate.
On to some questions.
Yeah. Well, I actually have a listener's message. It's not so much a question.
Oh, okay.
But I think we do have a question somewhere as well. Okay, so listeners' messages. We need a jingle for that.
Go on then.
No, I really want to. I keep saying this every week. I really want to give it like a cool name.
Well,
like, what do we call people that are? I don't know. Okay, wanted to let you guys know that I finally plucked up the courage to go and have a conversation with my gym crush. It wasn't a long chat, but I've been waiting to do it for such a long time. And listening to your podcast and hearing how Lucy approached Callum made me just think, fuck it, and I did it. So thank you.
Aww.
That's nice, isn't it?
Happy to help.
I wonder what the conversation was. Maybe she just went, that was impressive.
That was impressive. He wasn't doing anything, he was just sat there.
Just sat on his phone. That's impressive. Yeah, don't take all of our advice if that's what you did. No, but it doesn't have to be a long conversation. Maybe they exchanged a few words and now maybe they've, opened that line of communication.
Exactly, like just saying hello.
And now maybe next time they can have another conversation.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to get a follow-up on that one.
Yeah. I've got one. So, what split should I do for my training? Is something someone asked me.
Oh God!
To be honest,
it depends. What's the needs and context?
How often?
What are your goals?
How often a week can you train? Have you got any other things on? I had an interesting conversation with a guy yesterday who is basically running Oh God, I've got to find this out now. Give me 2 seconds. He's running marathons for mental health.
That's nice.
But yeah, it's ridiculous, like what he's actually doing. Where is he?
Callum's always so prepared.
Here we go. He's running 12 marathons in 12 months.
Wow.
And he's 3 down.
So a marathon a month.
Wow.
Wow.
And he was asking me yesterday.
Wait, this is someone from our gym?
Yeah.
Do I know him?
No.
Wow.
I don't think so. He was asking me yesterday, basically, around his leg training and stuff like that. And he's saying that when he does it, he just really doesn't look forward to it.
Who does?
His DOMs last for a long time afterwards. And I was like, look, you're running 12 marathons in 12 months. I was like, you don't want to be getting severe DOMs in your leg days. And I was like, what's your training split look like? And he said, push-pull legs. And I was like, okay, probably just an idea. Split the leg day up into your upper body days, so you're doing full body days. So there's less impact. But it completely depends. I mean, that's a very severe example because he is running 12 marathons
doing something very
in 12
extreme.
Months. Exactly. So
you got to think about what your goals are. Like
exactly.
When I said to you, my goal for my reverse diet is to build my quads. We picked kind of like 3 main goals. It was like build my delts, my quads, and my glutes. So you went away and made my training program so that I had enough. I was hitting glutes as many times as I needed to across the week. Just let Callum yawn.
Sometimes when you talk.
Wow.
I'm joking.
Wow.
I'm joking. I think it just hit me suddenly.
All right, no, I'm knackered. It's because I haven't had any food yet.
I'm not getting
today.
enough oxygen. I feel like I'm going to sneeze now.
Maybe you need to breathe through your nose a bit more and you'll get more oxygen. You all right? You look like you're having a stroke. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Thank you for that great distraction. Completely forgot what I was saying. So you went away and made my training program and just made sure that I was doing as many leg days as I needed to do. But then also after doing that for a while, that wasn't quite working for me because my DOMs were so bad. I was missing out my 3rd leg day all the time. So then we mixed that up again. So comes back to why it's so important to have a coach who can actually gather all of your goals, create you a structured training program that suits those goals, that suits also your lifestyle, as you said, how many days a week you can actually commit to training. There's no point going and training 6 days a week if, the 2 that you do at the end of the week are just horrendous because
or you end
haven't
up
got the
keep skipping them, you can't be bothered, or
your DOMs are really, really bad, so you're just never recovering. Like these things you have to think about and then cut them back. Like you're better off doing 4 sessions a week and doing them really, really well, executing them well, and getting results from it than trying to spread yourself too thin and not get results. So it very much depends. Could you try looking less bored while I'm talking,
No, I was
please?
just thinking. I wasn't looking bored.
You were just like...
I was just focusing on something because I was thinking like... no, I completely agree. I think it's also... just because you're doing, say you're doing 5 sessions a week now, if you're doing 5 sessions a week now, doesn't mean you should do doing 5 sessions a week forever. Like you can switch and change your plan and your program as many times as you like. Just make sure you stick with it long enough that it makes a difference, and then you should switch things up. Maybe then you do go into a 4-day split or a 5-day split or a 6-day split, however you want to do it. Like you don't have to stick with the same thing the whole way through your training life.
Yeah, and like if you have goals to become a better runner or anything like that, you got to think about when the runs are going to be added in. Or is your goal fat loss? When are we going to add cardio in? How much cardio? Or are you trying to build muscle? It really does depend on what you want to achieve. And also something that I'm obviously learning a lot about at the moment with some of the injuries that I've had is like the weaker body parts that I have, making sure that my training is suited around that and that, I've got the right exercises in there to warm up those muscles before I start and how to bring them up basically. So quite a few things that goes into it. Sorry if that's not very helpful. Maybe drop us a DM and tell us your goals and we could be a bit more.
Yeah, we can help out a little bit more and maybe get something planned with you that works well. Do I have any others?
Why am I always so hungry when we record this podcast?
We haven't had any breakfast.
All I'm thinking about is my bagel, avocado, and eggs. That's my go-to breakfast.
This one's not really a... This one's not really a question. It was just something that someone said to me that I thought was quite funny.
Okay.
If you could hear people's thoughts, the gym would sound like angry children. Lots of people straining hard to count to a relatively low number.
Yeah, that's so funny. Oh my God, imagine if you could hear everyone's thoughts in the gym. I don't even think I'd want to know.
No, that would be horrendous. Or really boring.
It was like yesterday when I was training. I really struggled in my session yesterday because I had... Thursday was my rest day, and then obviously it just worked out that we were away Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So I was like, oh my God, I've had 5 days off. This is so bad. Everything that I was lifting the week before felt so heavy. I was so tired. I literally was doing dumbbell RDLs, not even that heavy, and I just like threw them down and I just lay on the floor and I was like, this is a joke. I was like shaking my head, and someone that we know from the gym just looked over at me at the exact moment. He just like burst out laughing because he could just see that I was struggling so much. But if you could hear what was going on in my head right then, just like swearing to myself.
Come on, Lucy, you piece of shit.
You're so weak. Come on, pull yourself together. Just beating myself up all the time. I reckon you'd hear so many girls being like, oh my God, that girl looks so good. How do I get abs like that? Oh my God, that girl's so strong. How do I get so strong? Oh my God, I love that girl's set. Oh my God, her bum looks so good in that. That would be like most girls in a dialogue, I reckon. Guys would probably be like, God, my pump is so good. I look unreal right now.
Guys were probably saying the same thing about the girls.
Yeah, probably. You better not be.
No, only you. Joe, it was funny yesterday when I finished training. Oh, wow, there was a young lad waiting for the... he was on a piece of equipment. I was waiting for him to finish. Asking him how many sets he had left. He said 1. So I was like, cool, I'll just stand behind, respectfully.
Not staring you down.
Nice distance away.
Yeah.
And he was doing his last set. And when he finished, he put the weight up.
Classic.
So he did a drop set. So he started on, I can't remember what the weight was, like 65 kg or something. And it was a double drop set. So he did a certain amount of reps, then dropped it, and then did a certain and dropped it again. And then when he finished that last drop set and he was getting up, he moved it back down to the 65. And then walked away.
Yeah. Oh, bless him.
And I was, to be honest, like when I was young, I definitely used to do that because I was like, oh, I
want the next person to think I'm strong.
People to think I'm not strong, but bless him.
Oh, yeah. That is one thing in the gym that we don't really talk about, isn't it? Like feeling a little bit judged by, or I don't know if it's judged, but you just want to.
You want to impress people.
Yeah,
I mean, to be
people
fair,
we don't even know that we might not ever see again.
To be fair, I was quite impressed in the first place because like. The exercise he was doing was, he was doing well. It was quite a heavy weight.
As long as he was doing it well. But I guess the worry is some people lift really heavy to impress people, and then their form goes, and then they cause injury. So
yeah.
But it is funny, isn't it? We all do it, and I always lift heavy when I'm training with someone. Like or someone's waiting for a piece of equipment.
There was another.
I just go heavier.
There was another thing where I was like, my session got mixed up a bit yesterday compared to last week. So where there were exercises that I was stronger on last week just because of where they were structured in the day. So yesterday, one of my first exercises I had to do towards the end. So I just didn't have the strength left. I was knackered. I used all my muscles and already, so they were already quite tired. And I went over and I asked this guy if I could jump in on something else. And he was like, yeah, of course. And I was thinking, like, I'm going to have to, like, pull out all the stops there. Because this guy's watching me. This guy's, like, literally, he just moved to the side of the machine. So he was just stood there, like, literally right behind me.
What machine was it?
Shoulder press. The hammer
neutral grip. Yeah.
So,
see, it doesn't stop people.
No, it doesn't.
This long in the fitness industry, we know better. Yeah. He's still doing it.
I was like, I've got to at least hit what I hit last week.
But it's just funny.
I was like, I've just got to do it. So I did, and I did my first set, I turned around to the guy. I was like, "Oh, what weight did you have it on?" I forgot to look before I changed it, and he was like,
no.
it's like no." He said what he did, and I was like, "Oh, cool." And he was like, "I'm not doing that. I'm not doing what you just did. That looked really hard." And I was like, "Oh, mate, if only you knew."
If only you knew how much I just struggled.
Dying.
Oh my god, it's so silly.
Trying to get the last rep up.
And normally you need like someone to just help you get it
spot.
up.
I was kind of hoping he'd run over and like just spot, but
you.
he just stood there watching, and I was like, "Oh, you stood."
That's so funny. Do you know one thing that you are really good at? I know then we'll finish up, but whenever I'm like feeling a little bit self-conscious in the gym, and because we all have those days, and like a really fit girl, or who I perceive as a very fit girl, walks in, you know, she's like blonde, she's tan, she's got a nice set on, her body's unreal. And I'm like, oh my God, I feel really shit about myself right now. You are just like, you just come over straight away and like start giving me a kiss and a hug. And I don't know, I just think it's really nice. You do it all the time. You do it all the time.
Interesting.
Like, I don't know about any other girls, but sometimes in that moment, I'm like, oh my gosh, Callum's going to look over and be like, that girl's really fit. And then he's going to be like, oh, why am I with Lucy? Like my demons come into my brain and they're like, oh my God, why would he want to be with me when he could be with someone like that? But then you just come straight over and you're like, hey, how are you doing? You having a good session? I'm like, oh.
She wasn't paying attention. Was this yesterday? Did this happen yesterday?
No, it didn't happen yesterday.
I was going to say.
But this is what I mean. This is what's good. You don't even realise you're doing it. You don't like, it's nice. It's nice.
Happy to.
I feel like it's nice for a girl to feel like their boyfriend wants the whole gym to see that you're with me.
Yeah.
And I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cute. What did you do that the other day when you were on the shoulder press and you were like, can you come over here, please? And I came over and you were like, I just wanted all these guys to know that you were my girlfriend.
Yeah, when I was sat on the dumbbells.
Yeah, because it was like, the whole gym floor was basically men that day.
And then you walked down. And do you know what it was? It's because you walked down and I saw a few guys like looking over.
Did they?
Yeah. They do a lot, babe. You just don't notice it.
Don't notice it, no.
But yeah, it's so uncertain.
And he texted me going, come here.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, you said, please can you come spot me?
Please can you come spot me?
And I was like, come on then, let's go. And you're like, no, I don't need it.
I don't actually need a spot.
Just wanted you to come over. That's cute. I like that.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think that's a nice place to finish up this episode.
Yeah, episode 20. Done and dusted.
I hope you guys have enjoyed season 1. I am excited for season 2. I think it's going to bring some good things.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm just proud of us for getting to episode 20, to be honest. From that walk in the park saying that we should start a podcast to now wrapping up season 1.
The amount of people that I know who've been like, yeah, we should start a podcast and never ever comes to fruition.
Yeah. So. Or I know a lot of people who have started a podcast and then a few months down the line, why is my voice doing that? A few months down the line, I've been like, oh, where did that person's podcast go? I haven't seen them promote it for ages. And then it's just gone.
Yeah.
So they just didn't carry it on. And we actually have.
Yeah.
Regardless of like how many people are listening, we've carried it on and I'm proud of us.
I do enjoy it.
Same.
A lot.
I actually get really into the conversation and then I look at the time and I'm like, oh my gosh, we've been talking for nearly an hour.
Yeah. 54 minutes.
Yeah. Time to get on with our coaching work now. So we will see you guys in season 2. Thank you.
Season 2 in a few weeks. We will let you all know when that is up and running. But it's a perfect opportunity to catch up on episodes you haven't listened to yet as well. Or let us know your favourite one, or if you're
anything you want to, anything you want us to discuss.
Yeah, and we will come back at you in a few weeks with season 2.
And if you watch us on YouTube, we'll be in a different place.
Yeah, that's true.
Have a lovely couple of weeks. Thank you for listening as always. If you can hit the subscribe button, the follow button, we'd really appreciate it.
And follow us on our own personal social medias as well.
Yep.
Mine is at CallumTreacher_coaching and Lucy's is
at LoveLucyFit_.
So if you have any questions or anything you want us to read out in the future episodes, please send them over to us. Give our That Gym Couple podcast social medias a follow too, so you can find us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere really.
If you are cutting, good luck. If you are bulking,
Good luck.
if you are,
Maintaining, good luck.
have a lovely week. And we'll catch you in a couple of weeks.
Ciao.